Hello everybody, hope everybody is doing well. Let's talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4. So at the beginning of this episode, we start off with a flashback in Wakanda. It's about 6 years before the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you see Bucky fighting with those demons of being the Winter Soldier, trying to conquer this. Io is also there, and she is trying to help Bucky get through this by saying the code words that make the Winter Soldier the Winter Soldier. He says he basically can't do it, and she believes in him, so she starts to say the code words. As Bucky is fighting this back, he's having flashbacks of his Winter Soldier stint. You're seeing flashbacks from Winter Soldier and Civil War. And it was a really powerful scene that Sebastian Stan absolutely killed. You could really see how much Bucky is suffering from being the Winter Soldier. Now we flash back to present day. Io is very mad that he let Zemo free, and it gives him 8 hours until they come for Zemo. Bucky tries to explain, which is a big theme in this episode, that he is a means to an end. She says she does not care, and he has 8 hours and walks away. Bucky walks back to that little house that they were at, and Zemo starts to tell Falcon that he's clouded and that Carly is too far gone to be saved. He then explains that Carly is a supremacist and what it means to be a supremacist. Then says to Sam how the serum can corrupt somebody and enhance what is already there, while Bucky goes on to say that the serum never did anything to Steve Rogers, when Zemo has to explain that there's never been another Steve Rogers, and simply the serum only enhances what is there, like I said, meaning if there's good in you, it's going to enhance the good, and if there's bad in you, it's going to enhance the bad. That's a big theme for this episode also. Next scene, you see the Flag Smashers are in a hideout, and they have on their iPhones that the GRC put up a border regulation and says that the reach and the danger of their group is growing, and we see them all kind of just sitting around wondering what to do next. Next scene, we see Zemo, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier split up looking for them, where it has this really weird vibe when Sam is walking through the entire building, where everyone just keeps looking at him and walking away, or like getting worried and moving away from him. No one wants to really talk to him. Finally, he gets somebody to talk to him, where he really just says that they're not refugees and that they asked for help months ago and never got it, and they don't trust Falcon to do anything for them. You can see throughout the entire building when Sam's in it also that their symbol is everywhere. Bucky also has no luck with finding it. Then we cut to Zemo, where Zemo is offering these candies to all these little kids in exchange for information. He wants to know where Donya's funeral is, and the kids tell him where it is, and he then drops the whole bag of candy for them and then says not to trust Bucky and Sam and that they are bad men. Then they go back to the safe house, where Zemo tells them that he knows where the funeral is, and then there seems to be a little altercation between the Winter Soldier and Zemo, where basically Zemo wants to just have more leverage and he isn't saying the whole truth. Bucky gets mad at that and throws the tea at the wall, where Sam has to calm it down. Sam calls Carter, who looks to be that she has a lot of guards around her and that she has a lot of power that we were unaware of, which a lot of people have been theorizing that she is the power broker, which is a very big possibility, but who knows. Sam asks her if he has any way of helping them, and she says she might have a satellite that can help them find Carly, and Sam is obviously very appreciative of that. Carly goes to the tomb that has the super soldier serum there, and then starts talking to another Flag Smasher and how the shield is a terrible symbol, and how she believes that she is chosen to take down all the corruptness. We go back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Zemo going through the streets, while we see now Walker and Lamar, who are very angry to find them. They're saying, how did you find us? And Lamar says, you're Avengers. It's not really hard to find you, just walking around. Zemo really has no time for Walker as he tries to just walk past him. Walker really won't allow that, keeps asking questions and wants to take Zemo to jail and also take Carly out and won't hear them out. Sam explains that he just wants to talk to her, while Walker is really not okay with that and doesn't want to talk to her. He thinks that they've given him too many chances and he wants to take her in. Lamar kind of straightens out Walker and says, listen, let's try to see this through, because Sam explains how he is kind of a counselor for people with PTSD and he knows how to get through to people, and then explains that she's the most vulnerable right now because this is the funeral. This is the best time to actually talk to her and try to get some sense out of her. So finally Walker agrees and walks with them. Once they go in there, Walker handcuffs Zemo to a pole and gives Sam 10 minutes. As you can see, he's really not liking this. Sam goes in alone and goes to the second floor, where Carly is giving kind of a eulogy around the casket, where she looks up up and sees Sam watching her. She continues on with the eulogy until everybody leaves, and then Sam comes down. They're talking for a little bit, but as we keep cutting back and forth, and Walker is getting eager, he's getting angry, he wants to go in. Bucky is trying to tell Walker it hasn't even been 10 minutes, just relax, but he doesn't like that. Sam tells Carly that he understands her pain and even agrees with her in some ways, but cannot get on board with how she's doing it. He agrees with her motives, but does not agree with how she's going about this. And it seems like in this scene, they're starting to make a connection between each other, where they're kind of finding some middle ground. When Walker comes in and ruins everything goes wrong. She doesn't trust Sam now. She brought them all here to come and get me, where he tries to explain that's not true. She runs away after Walker comes over there, but she does push Walker away, which you could start seeing Walker getting a little frustrated with these things. Zemo comes out of nowhere and shoots Carly a couple of times, and then she tries to jump over a table, and she ends up dropping all of the super soldier serum that she took with her. Zemo walks over and says, "Is this what I think it is?" and ends up crushing all of the serum until John Walker throws the shield at him, knocking Zemo out, and we realize that there's one serum left, where Walker walks over to it, picks it up, and just looks at it, which we can kind of see what's going to happen next. So he puts it in his pocket. Carly gets away. Now Carly's in a little bit of a panic, but then she gets a text from the power broker. Power broker basically saying they want the serum now, or they will find you and end you. So she's a little spooked about that. Now we're back in the safe house, where Zemo asks Sam, which is a pretty powerful scene. He asks Sam if he would take the super soldier serum, when Sam without hesitation says no, and Zemo points out that he has no hesitation, which is a really powerful scene that we'll see later on in the episode kind of reflect Walker to Sam, where all of a sudden Walker comes in all pissed off at them again, and he basically challenges Sam to a fight, saying he'll put the shield down and let's go one-on-one, until the Dormulage come in and kind of break it up for a second. Walker says they have no jurisdiction there. Bucky explains that it doesn't matter for them. Walker actually tries to de-escalate the situation a little bit, but things start to hit the fan because they want Zemo. They end up all fighting each other. Walker and Battlestar start to fight them all, but obviously aren't enough, so they're just getting their ass kicked while Bucky and Sam are watching. Sam says to Bucky, "Should we stop this?" So finally they end up trying to stop it. When Bucky tries to stop Io, she does some weird motion to his arm, where it pretty much turns off his vibranium arm and just comes off of his body and falls to the floor, which he's pretty shocked to see, because right after he tells Sam he had no idea that it could do that, which is actually kind of, to me, a very powerful scene, because the shock on Bucky's face, because up until that moment he thought that Wakanda really trusted him. So now that he sees that they still didn't trust him and they implemented this thing where the arm will come off, he's pretty shocked, kind of sending him down more of a little depressed place. Zemo escapes through a hole in the floor. John Walker is really pissed about this, where he then has a little comment saying none of them had the serum and he's still lost. You can see where this is going for John Walker, because the next scene, him and Lamar are sitting at a table. Someone asks to take a picture with him, and then he asks Lamar if he would take the super soldier serum, kind of reflective of when Zemo asked Sam if he would take the super soldier serum. Now Walker asks Lamar if he would take it. Lamar without hesitation says he would, and Walker in his head is trying to justify taking the super soldier serum right now. They kind of talk about Afghanistan and say if they had the super soldier serum, imagine how many lives they could have saved. And right there, Walker has made up his mind and he's going to take the super soldier serum. Then we cut to Sam's sister, who gets a call from Carly to tell Sam to meet her at a location, and gives her the exact coordinates, and she then kind of threatens her and her children. She tells Sam, and Sam agrees, but Bucky wants to go with him, so he agrees that Bucky could come. So they end up meeting with her, have a little talk. She basically explains that killing Sam would be meaningless because he is really nothing to the cause. She kind of wants him to join them. Sam gets something from Carter saying that she sees Walker and Lamar are coming into the building. So now everything starts to hit the fan. Bucky jumps off, but then Carly pushes him into a wall and things start to hit the fan, where now they want to find Walker before Walker finds them. Walker and Lamar break in, and they end up getting split up, and we keep cutting to where you could just see Walker's twitching. He's not right. He looks like he's sweating. He looks like he's hallucinating. He doesn't look as normal as he did from the first and second episode. He's really going down this really dark path, and now he's starting to get really annoyed that Battlestar gets captured and wants to find him. There's a little altercation on the steps where now he's going toe-to-toe with the super soldier from the Flag Smashers, and the first clear indication that we know that he now has the serum. When they're fighting on the steps, he has a metal pole and he just straight straight up bends the metal pole, which obviously no average human could do unless you have the super soldier serum, and then he just kicks his ass, Flag Smasher down. Then we see another altercation with Bucky showing off that insane knife skills that he had back in Winter Soldier when he fought Steve, which is something really cool just to note. Sam is going crazy too, taking out some Flag Smashers, and this is where it really goes bad. Lamar is able to break out and gets to Sam, Bucky, and Walker. In this altercation, one of the Flag Smashers has Walker's chest exposed, which is Carly could throw a spear through it, which is very graphic. Right before she could throw the spear, Battlestar comes out of nowhere and pretty much just spears her to the ground, saving Walker's life. Carly's not too pleased with this, obviously, and ends up kicking Lamar so hard into a pole. Once he hits that pole, it's kind of clear to everybody that something bad just happened. So now he's just sitting at the pole, unconscious, not making any moves. There's blood on him. We have a really kind of emotional scene with Walker and Lamar, where Walker starts to tell Lamar just to wake up, get up, let's go, and he's not responding, and you slowly see anger coming out of Walker. Carly ends up running away, and Walker is pissed. He gets up, jumps out the window, and starts chasing a Flag Smasher, asking where Carly is. The Flag Smasher keeps running, but ends up getting stopped, and then Walker goes absolutely apeshit, very graphic, pins the Flag Smasher down, and says, where's Carly? The Flag Smasher says, I don't know, but it wasn't me, begging for his life, and Walker, like I said, goes absolutely crazy, and takes the shield and starts smashing it on him, ultimately killing him. You could see his hand fall to the ground, you could see the blood everywhere, you could see the crazy look on Walker's face. As this is happening, he has a crowd of people surrounding him, recording everything he is doing, which I was really not expecting to see how graphic it was. Right after he kills him, you see the shield has so much blood on it. That's really a lot of symbolism to what the shield is now that there's blood on it. It's not the shield that Steve Rogers had. It's now a different owner. Everybody in the crowd is absolutely shocked. We cut again to the blood on the shield, and then the episode ends like that. So all in all, this to me was my favorite episode so far of the series. I know there's only about 2 left, I think, and then the series ends. So let me know what you guys think of this episode. I'm hearing a lot of different things about it. I'm hearing a lot of people love it. I'm also hearing a lot of people extremely dislike it. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this episode. I, for one, thought it was the best episode so far, and I'm so excited to see what they're going to do next in the MCU. I'm assuming next episode, they're going to take the shield from Walker and maybe give it to Sam, but we're going to have to see. Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. I will see everybody on the next breakdown. Have a good rest of your week. Peace.